Okay guys, welcome back to your Fix Your Dog in 30 Days program with S.M.A.R.T Dog School. Today we're going to talk about the 4 A's of dog training. This is meant to be motivational because in order to teach a dog something, we have to follow the 4 A's, and if we start to skip one of them, we're going to realize that, we're actually lumping everything together and we're rushing, and if we realize a dog doesn't understand something, we can typically go back to the A's and we know exactly where we're at. These were taught to me a long time ago when I was in school, and honestly, every time that I run into a troubleshooting situation, because that's really the big difference between a trainer and a behavioral trainer, is that behavioral trainers will be more troubleshooters. They'll start to look for inconsistencies in the learning process, and that's what we try and change and correct. So let me cover the 4 A's. Before I forget, I did make a cheat sheet for you. It is kind of juvenile and kind of cartoony, but that's what it looks like. So the 4 A's of dog training. The first A is called acquisition. Acquisition is another way of saying, you have to get the behavior. You have to get it to happen. And in all fairness, there's a bunch of ways to get a behavior, typically 5. You can encourage the behavior by luring it. Let's just use a behavior that everybody knows. Let's talk about getting a dog to sit, okay? You can use food or toys or your hand or motion to lure your dog's head up and lure your dog's butt to go down. Head goes up, butt naturally goes down. They receive the reward. This is a this is a lure. This is one of the 5 ways to obtain a behavior and to acquire the behavior. There's also ways such as shaping it, that's getting little bits at a time. There's capturing it, rewarding it when it happens just spontaneously. There is imitation, putting another dog beside a dog that can show them to do it and they kind of imitate the dog. And then there's molding, changing the dog's position by touching the dog's butt and pushing up on the head. These are all kinds of ways you can acquire a behavior. But acquisition has to occur before anything else. You can't just, and this is one mistake a lot of people make, they try and tell their dog what to do. They say, they tell their dog to sit, and this is what they think they have to do. I'll tell you an example. A long time ago, I was asked, what makes a trained dog sit? That it sounds stupid to ask that question. It's like, what do you mean? What you told them to sit? If it's trained, you tell them to sit. We're like, no. What made the dog sit was its past reinforcement / punishment history. How many times has it been rewarded and not punished for sitting in its past, and that's what's going to get it to do it again. So we're talking geeky talk again, but it's increasing probability. So the more you acquire it, the more you're going to lead into the second A. And the second A is automatic. Automatic means if you've acquired it enough, it's going to start to become automatic. You ever see your dog run up to you after you've given them treats for sitting for so long, and they just run up to you and they start to sit? And if they don't get nothing, they'll stand up and they'll sit again. This is making a behavior automatic. You can predict when they're going to do the behavior. This is making a behavior automatic. So acquiring it first, making it automatic second. Being able to predict when and where it's going to happen. That's how you know you've made it automatic. The third is called application. Application, it's also another word for generalization. It's you need to get it, which is acquisition. You need to make it automatic, and then you need to apply it. Applying it means take it on the road, meaning you got your dog to sit in the living room. That's great. Now start getting him to sit outside, get him to sit out back, get him to sit at the grocery store, get him to sit everywhere. This is applying what you made automatic. Now, make no mistake, when you change context, you may have to go all the way back up in the acquisition phase. You may have to start getting the behavior again, making it automatic in that phase, in that particular context, and then applying it. So you'll have to constantly go back and forth between acquisition, automatic, application, and that's when you get to the last step. The last step, last A, is always, it's maintenance. It means you can't just expect a dog to do a behavior as novel as sitting just because you told him to sit for the rest of his life, never again giving a reinforcer and or punisher for doing it or not doing it. You have to maintain it, meaning you have to practice it. So people that say their dog is trained, they assume knowledge has taken place and no more training has to take place. You couldn't be further from the truth. Think about us, for example. Our whole lives are made up of learning, right? We learn every single day. We learn what to do to get what we want. We learn what to avoid to stay away from what we don't want. And every day we're learning something new. It's always a learning opportunity. It's never, you graduated high school, you graduated college, now you know how to behave and you're going to make all the right choices and you're going to do all the right things for the rest of your life. No, absolutely not. You're going to have challenges. That's why your dog's going to have challenges, and that's why you may have to repeat the A's all the time and just kind of, they'll be in flux. So remember that when you're teaching your dog to do anything. I don't care if it's fetching or laying down or anything, speaking on command, any of these behaviors you can teach as long as you follow the 4 A's of dog training. So go ahead and get your copy from below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.